Hello and welcome to another Myrtle Beach real estate market update. My name is Abe Safa with Century 21 Harrelson Group. Today's conversation is going to be on Myrtle Beach Oceanfront condo rental numbers are down. We'll dive into that here in a little bit. First, I want to go over the numbers real quick for you. What's most important for me to pay attention to, as always, is the month's supply of inventory. That's something to really pay close attention to because that gives us a really good idea of what's actually not just what's on the market, but it also takes into account what is actually selling. So it's a good number to look at to give you an overall picture of what is happening in the market. So when you look at single family homes, this is just resale only, not new construction. The total months supply of inventory is 5.2 months. Now that number is down a little bit from last month. Last month we were sitting at 5.4 month supply. So that's actually a good sign that we come down a little bit because we've really seen the housing inventory really skyrocket over the last 3 years. We went from a 1 month supply all the way up to 5.4 months. And now it looks like some of the homes have sold over the summer and that number is starting to go down. Now it is still higher than what we were last year. It's 21% higher than when it was last year. So that means there's more inventory out there and less homes are selling relative to last year by 21%. Positive signs, number of closed sales last month was up 1%, 531 homes closed. Nothing major, but what was really exciting to look at the numbers that just came out a couple of weeks ago is that the number of pending homes was 538. So that's a 15.5% increase from last year. So starting to see homes sell a little bit more than what they were last year at this time, and that's why you see the month supply go from 5.4 months to 5.2 months. So hopefully we're moving in the right direction when it comes to selling homes. 5.2 months is not a whole lot if you look at historic numbers. We're still somewhat a seller's market based on historical figures because anything below a 6 month supply is usually considered a seller's market. But since COVID, we might be reanalyzing how that formula actually works because in reality is when you're out there looking, working with buyers, the buyers have a lot of options right now. So they seem to have more leverage than sellers do right now. Condos is a different world. The month supply of condos, overall condos, counting oceanfront, golf courses everywhere, is 8.6 supply. That's a lot. Now, it did come down from 8.8 last month, but it's still up 30% from last year. The number of closed sales last month for condos was 359. That's 13.5% less than the previous year. Now, pendings were up a little bit. So we had 422 pendings this past month, up 6.6% from last year. That's actually a good sign. But sitting on 8.6 months supply of condos, that's still a lot of condos. So some of you condos owners out that are out there on the market right now, you feel it. You're not getting offers like we normally do. It's been tough. We go to oceanfront condos, it's even tougher. The month's supply of inventory for oceanfront condos is up to 11.4 months. That's an astronomical number. It was 11.2 months last month, and 11.4 is up 37% from last year. Number of closed sales last month was only 116 condos. Only 116 oceanfront condos sold last month. That's down 26% from last year. And as we look forward at pendings, 132 pendings last month. That's also down 3% from last year. So it doesn't look like we're getting much relief for oceanfront condos. That is truly something that's concerning me a lot right now. I'm paying a lot of attention to it. I'm seeing a lot of buildings right now really just get decimated with the amount of inventory that's out there. It's really forcing prices down. And I know buyers are coming to us and say, okay, they've got a selection to choose from, especially in some of these buildings, and they're coming in with low offers. So it's something to pay attention to if you're a condo owner, especially on the oceanfront. You really need to know what's happening. You can give me a call and we can talk about it. I'll be more than glad to share uh, uh, what's happening in the market with you. Other news, real quick, mortgage rates. The 30-year national average right now is at 6.59. It's actually not too bad considering where we've been the last couple of years, but it's still nowhere near where I'd like it to be. Hopefully that starts to trickle down a little bit. That will help with some of that inventory. 15-year national average is at 5.97, so just below 6%. A couple of quick news that I think we should point out. This Friday, we're looking at the Jerome Powell, the Fed chairman, to come out and give a speech. I'm really hoping that he starts to ease up a little bit and consider drop in the Fed rate a little bit, we can use some relief in the mortgage percentage for that to come down a little bit. So we'll see what he says. If he starts to get a little bit more dovish than what he's been, no way in knowing. He's been extremely tight, extremely difficult because of his concern for the inflation numbers out there. As we wind down the summer, again, the topic was today was going to be oceanfront condo rentals numbers down. I've got a bunch of buddies that own hotels and motels here in town, and talking to them and talking to some of the property management companies, talking to some of you owners out there that own oceanfront condos. Rental numbers are down this year once again. We had the best year ever as far as rentals right after COVID, and every year since then the numbers have been declining. I'm seeing numbers anywhere from 15 to as high as 40% decline from last year. That's also adding to some of this struggle right now with the oceanfront condos. Something to pay attention to. If you own an oceanfront condo, or if you're an investor in oceanfront condos, might own a couple, this is a really good time to sit down and really evaluate your portfolio. How's it performing? How's it performing relative to your expectations? How's it performing relative to what's out there as far as alternative investments right now? If you took the cash out of these properties and put them into something else, could you get a better return? All of these things should be something that you should sit down and look at and consider in moving forward. If you have any questions or want to talk to me about what's happening in the market, or specifically in your building or your condo or your home, if you have a home you want to talk about and what's happening in the market, would love to talk to you. My number's at the bottom of the screen. That'll go directly to me. That's my personal cell. Would love to chat with you. Take care. I'll see you soon.